microphone. Here we go. Good afternoon, folks. Good evening. 6 p.m. London time, London close, London wrap. Just a quick recap of what's been going on today. No real big trade ideas for me, but just a recap of what's going on. Just looking at the chat before we get going. UK plan, of course, the Swiss National Bank want to buy the Euro Swiss at any opportunities. Any sell off in the Euro Swiss, you might see the Swiss getting involved. Apparently, they were looking at they were getting involved around the 107 level, but that's not confirmed. But with the Swiss and the Euro, you always have to be cautious of constant interbank intervention there. Right, just have a look at what's going on in the markets. Now, all that we're going to see today is basically determined by what comes out over the next, starts in 30 minutes. Unfortunately, I won't be here, otherwise I'd stream over it. Normally I'd stream over these big events in terms of for market movement, even just keeping the screens running with the commentary in the background. But unfortunately, I've got a pressing engagement which I need to attend to. So I'm not going to be streaming over it. But in 25 minutes from now, from the White House, we'll be seeing the rollout, or not the rollout necessarily, but a press conference in terms of the tax plans for the Trump administration. A lot of it's been leaked already, not leaked, but it'll be given out by the Treasury Secretary. And it's the details I was putting in the room earlier, but you can find the details out from anywhere. 15% corporation tax, 10% personal tax, possibly something in there of border tax as well. And when all this has been sort of coming over the wires earlier, around 1 o'clock, the dollar basically caught a bid. Dollar liked it, and we've been in an upward trajectory all day long now in the dollar, and it was confirmed basically a few hours ago, 5 hours ago or so, when he started to speak. So the dollar likes it. The dollar's bounced off the Trump candle again. We've been going on about that for donkey's years. So we bounced off the Trump candle yet again. This is the Trump candle. This is the Trump line. Bounced off there yet again, and now back above the 99 level. The tax talk today is quite significant. It's also how the market perceives it. I mean, he's promising a lot. He's promising a lot in terms of these tax cuts. I think it's been billed as the biggest tax cut in US history. Well, the biggest tax cut in US history has to be paid for, and quite honestly, the guys that sit in banks, traders, fund managers, they are not silly people. So they will start seeing through any of this if it's not they've got anything. If it's not deliverable. And of course, I also hear that Ryan, who's the House Speaker, saying that he likes it, which means it's going to get its vote of confidence in the houses, both houses. So yeah, I mean, so the markets are going to be looking at not only what they say, but also how feasible it is. So do keep an eye on that. Now, what we're seeing on the back of it is, the dollar yen push up to new highs. Dollar yen has had a great rally. Remember, dollar yen has been moving. Let's just pull up dollar yen against the index. Okay, so the dollar yen has been moving basically up as the dollar. Sorry, dollar yen has been moving up as dollar index has been moving down, which has basically been the Japanese weakness. Which is one of the reasons why I haven't got involved in this pair, because the US dollar was actually in a subdued market condition, was trading off, and it looked possibly like breaking that Trump candle at 98.50 to form considerably newer lows. So I kept away from it. But now what we're seeing with the anticipations of the tax talks, we're seeing some dollar strength. Dollar index is now pushing up, and this pair is accelerators. Now you've got two forces working for the pair as opposed to one. Remember the way my style of trading, which you've got to know now over the months, is trading not just one currency. This is the beauty about currency trading. You can trade two currencies. You trade you're not just trading on the back of what's going on in the US. You're trading what's back of US against other currencies. So you buy strength over weakness. Now we're seeing strengthening US dollar and continued weakening of the Japanese yen, which makes this pair given some momentum behind this pair now, which is why we pushed up, almost without resistance on the way up. We are now back into this resistance level, so 1185. What are we now? 1173. We just, we're going to hit this maybe online now. You could shoot through it, of course. But this, if you look from the level from the 15 and a half back from the beginning of March, we came back down almost 700 points, more than 700 points to 108.30. Okay, big move. The 50% retracement of this. Now, this is not a fib level. We don't fibs. 50% is not a fib level, but it's a crucial retracement level. We're at the 50% retracement level here. So this market, it's just right above 1200. So anything between 11, well, basically between here and 1200. Now I think you're going to find this pair coming to resistance. All bets could be off in 25 minutes. So that's unfortunate that we've got this. Unfortunate, but this is where we are at the moment. Taking that out of the equation, I think 1200 could hold it for a while. But we'll see. We might blip through it. You might trade back up and then come back down to test these levels, to test the 1200 level. So certainly, if we break through the 1200 level, which is resistance, then the next stop, quite frankly, is up to 1250, 1270 area, which is this area of consolidation. It's also a 61.8% fib. I'm not a massive fib trader, but I keep an eye on them. So that is a target level for the upside if dollar yen breaks through on any dollar positive news out of the Trump meeting in a moment. So keep an eye on that. Now, if dollar yen does push up, that's going to basically, I think, is going to help the. It's going to help the euro yen. My euro yen trade. I put a trade idea out earlier today, which has been. Let's have a look. This is the euro yen. So I'm back in on this momentum move to the upside. Okay, so I'm back in here now. I'm long here per my idea this morning at 21.16. I was maximum 22 pips offside at one point. I'm sort of 35 up now at the moment. I'm running this. I'm running this to the upside. Remember last night I spoke about Fibonacci extension. I spoke about it this morning as well. If you were not on my morning wrap this morning opening, which is getting on for 11 hours again now. So if you are there, then you're sadder people than I am, sitting at your screens all day long. But I was talking about this Fibonacci extension level, looking for a level. I basically took the high from, or I should say the high from the French election candle, which is the Asian opening here, back down to the low consolidation area, for look for a target on the upside. And I said, whether you believe in Fibonacci or not, you've got to be aware of it for a target to the upside. And I put in a 1618 extension, which came in at the 121.90 level, and like a sniper, it held it almost to the pip. That was projected out yesterday when we were trading back around here. So hit the target. Okay, grant you, it's just ahead of the 22 handle, so that had significance as well. But it also was a Fibonacci extension level from this move here. So that's why I was quite happy to target that. My long trade at the moment is back in targeting that. It's initial first exit level. If we break, if we touch it, quite likely the second time around we could push on. If the news is good for the US dollar, then of course that is going to be bad predominantly for the Japanese yen. The Japanese yen is the main culprit at the moment in terms of the weaker currency. The euro's got some buoyancy, as we know, from the French elections. We've also got rumours that the tapering talks could be ignited again tomorrow with the ECB. So the euro's got a sort of like a bid behind it. So I'd rather play the I'd rather think that to play the dollar strength, you play it dollar yen or play euro yen. So euro yen will get pulled up with it as well. So I think euro yen is a safe trade for me if dollar continues to push up to the high side, to the long side. Maybe at some point I'll get back into the dollar yen, but I'm just not there at the moment. I'm happy to continue with this one up, and this was a really good level in terms of an entry level to get back in. So that's where I am on the euro yen. What I haven't, I had 4 consecutive decent winning trades yesterday in this move to the upside, profitable trades, and this will be my 5th if it takes out. But we'll see how it goes. We'll see how that one pans out. Okay, the other play you might want to look at. I mean, just looking at the meter. I mean, we've still got, with the yen, it's struggling. It's sort of, this is the one at 1 minute. Well, I'll stop that there. I don't want a 1 minute. The yen, it's still back down at the lowest. It's struggling to get back up there. It's struggling to have a recovery. It's been the dog of a currency over the last week and a half or so. It's sort of like struggling to get some footing back, but it keeps getting knocked back. So the yen still is the negative currency. If this news comes out, which is good for the tax news comes out and it's good, and market believes that it's doable. Stock markets are at all-time highs in France, Germany. We're still firmly above 21,000 in the US stock market. You could see a lot of risk-on trade happening again. People taking on risk, liking these markets. The yen's going to suffer. So and that's basically what's happening at the moment. So I'm liking that. So you've got the euro yen, also looking possibly at a continuation of the. I'll come to that in a second. The chat, that is. So also looking at pound yen. Okay, so pound yen, 143.33. This has had big moves. I mean, this is almost 400 points since the lows of yesterday. Massive move in pound yen. Are you too late to the party? Well, I still think yen's got some downside potential, especially if the US dollar pushes on. The yen's going to get hit as well. And the British pound has got its every reason to continue with its bullish mode. It's getting dragged up by the euro. Also, the Brexit, the election coming up, good for Brexit. There's another the final question time in the House of Commons today. I was watching that today. I mean, I don't want to get political, but golly gosh, if the leader of the opposition gets to become our next prime minister, it's turn the lights out, chaps. But I don't get political. But but it's looking that he won't get near number 10. The powers of government, so which is good for pounds. So pounds got every reason to continue fundamentally and technically on the charts as well. So pound yen is another possible trade to get involved in buying pullbacks. Again, pound yen will do well under any big surge through in the US dollar if we see that on the back of yen weakness. Yen is going to be the biggest casualty of that because the pound, euro, US dollar, these are the strong currencies at the moment. These are the currencies. Well, US certainly. You've got the US. The rates are moving in the US already. We're talking. The fact that we're talking about tapering, the normalisation of rates in Europe. The fact that we're talking about that. The fact that we're looking at what Carney's going to say on his next meeting and his last meetings in terms of interest rates in the UK. These are markets that are. Interest rates are going like that. Japan is like that, below 1%. Recent Japanese Bank of Japan governor Kudo, whatever his name is, was basically talking about maintaining the buyback and the stimulus to the market, maintaining rates at these low levels as well. So two different interest rate cycles going on in two different parts of the world. UK, Europe, US, all has the interest rate, hawkish tendency, and Japan remains dovish. So pound yen is also another one you might want to look at. Youssef, you're tired. I need a nap. Yeah, I have that effect on people. In terms of buying the rumour, sell the fact. We'll see what comes out of the the press conference. I mean, we know the facts that are out there. It's whether they can actually, if it's feasible to get them delivered, to get the tax thing delivered. This wall he's been banging on about for so many years, so many months and so forth. Now the rhetoric on that is sort of like saying, well, they'll pay for it eventually. I mean, it's all, we'll see. Did I not see a chop down in pound? Yeah, I mean, I'm actually still long. I'm still short euro pound. Not so what it means. Did I see a chop down? So I've got a fly flying around me at the moment. Did I see a chop down? Yeah, I mean, that was. If you're talking about this move here, Yo-Yo, are you talking about this move down on? Got him. Are you talking about this move down on? Is this what you mean by chop down? What do you mean by chop down? I'm not quite sure what you mean by chop down. This is the. I mean, this is the French elections here. Get the euro against the pound. We saw pretty much nothing really moving. It's sort of flat there. I'm still short half a contract here, euro pound. I've been offside. Gosh, I've been 20 pips away from stop. I'm now back down to. I've also been onside by 70 pips. I'm now back in at flat, break even, with a target still to the downside, which I'm quite happy to just keep on. I think, I'm happy with those trades, euro pound. Technically, it's still we're still in a downward bias. So I'm still happy to, I've basically sold into this level of, resistance. So I'm quite happy to run this down to the downside. If I get stopped out here, then I get stopped out and move on. It's been on. I've been running it all week actually. Jenny, thanks for that, Jenny. Pound, dollar, euro pound may resume back up later today. Good old Jenny. We're always on the different side of the trade. Are we? I don't know. Euro pound could resume back up later today. We'll have to wait and see. Unless we know anything that's coming out that's specifically going to put the euro up against the pound. I don't know. Maybe you're right. Okay, so that's basically what I'm looking at the moment. In terms of the other currencies, just because it's a market wrap, the Canadian dollar has been obviously the centre of the trade wars. It's not really a trade war at the moment, but trade news in terms of import duties on its wood and timber and lumber and so forth. Possible rumours of further tax. I think he basically put out a warning shot there, to be honest. But possible import tax duties on dairy products, which that's sort of concern that freaked out the New Zealand currency as well. That's why the New Zealand dollar was whacked yesterday. That's sort of like good like Vienna, New Zealand. And but today we had we had some retail sales numbers which came in slightly better than expected. We also had some revisions from last month came in slightly better than expected. So the Canadian dollar decided to catch a bid. I'm not quite sure I'm behind that. I think they've got much more pressing concerns than 1 month's set of data in retail sales. But the market anyway seemed to like that news. Oil prices have broken session highs, so we're into now 1, 2, 3, back to the highs of back to the range of last week. Still at the below the 50 level in WTI. So Canadian dollar has caught a bit of a bid on the back of RPI and of course oil prices. I'm not quite sure of any oil news that's come out recently, but oil's had a good bid today. There's got to be something out about oil somewhere for that type of move to happen. Okay. So yeah, we had weak inflation data overnight from Aussie. Commodity prices all look as though they're holding up. Right. Okay. So that's the Canadian. Yeah. So I've seen from the back of that Aussie is basically not doing very much. I haven't been looking too much at the Aussie today, to be honest. Let's have a look at the Aussie. Yeah, it's not done anything today. Aussie's just been flatlining today. Okay, this is let's go to the 4 hour. yeah, Aussie's not been doing anything. It's just sort of flatlining. Softer numbers out, but equally, stabilisation of copper prices. Iron ore prices remaining stable. So Aussie's doing nothing. So that's where we are at the moment, folks. I'm not going to bang on too much, nor I'll let you get all ready for the press conference in 15 minutes. I'm into 10 minutes, I should say, or 5 minutes even now. I'm sorry I can't be on the stream for that. I really wanted to be. I've tried to get someone else to fill my appointment, but I'm unable to, so I have to attend this appointment. So I've got to get going in about 5 minutes, but I'll be on my cell phone watching it because I'm interested. So that's where we are at the moment. Watch out for these numbers. Good numbers in the US will be good for the dollar yen. Will be good for the euro yen. I also think it'll be quite good for the pound yen. I don't think anything. I can't see anything negative in terms of anything. There's going to be no shock horrors. I don't think that's going to put the dollar index back down, significantly lower. It's just, maybe the market's getting overexcited. But we'll have to wait and see. It's all going to be revealed in the next 20 minutes or so. So we'll see what comes on. And when I get back into the room, if you're still around, I'll have a little chat and see where we are. I don't know if Jason's coming on stream later. No, I'm the next one on, and I'll be on at 7 a.m. in the morning, London time, pre-market opening, so maybe we can discuss it then if you're going to be around. And I'm reminded from Yo-Yo that we've got the Fed, non-farm payroll next week, of course. First Friday of the week, always, of the month. Tim Armstrong, welcome to the room. I believe you are new. I was going to send you a welcome earlier, so thanks for that. The third tab along, Tim, let me just show you this now while you're on. Okay, because I've got a couple of minutes. I don't want to be online though when they're talking. Let me just show you here what we're talking about, Tim. Where are we? Okay, Tim, here you go. Right, Tim, I hope you can see this. This is our sort of like control room where you can access most of the information. For those of you who haven't, there's a lot of basic videos in here from me as well, just talking about various aspects of forex trading. It starts off quite basically. I'm adding to these regularly, so it's always worth checking in if you haven't done so already. I'm actually going to be doing one this week, or another one this week on ATR, because I use ATR myself. Anyway, so there's some basic stuff in here as well. Then you've got the trading contest. Anyway, here you see the 3 tabs. This is where you place in trade ideas. A lot of you all know this, of course. And here's the propulsion strategy. If you click on that, you'll see this ebook of mine. And instruction. I've traded the market for over 25 years. It's over 25 years. It's 32 years. So there you go. So the ebook, you can download it here. All the instructions are there as well. Download the FX propulsion. You need to hook it to one of the recognised brokers. All the information's in there. If you have any problems, you can email support@forexsignals.com and they will help you out as well. If you see me in the room, I can't get too involved in the technical side of loading indicators and all that because I don't really get involved in that. But I'll see if I can help. But there's other people in the room that have done it as well, so they can always share some ideas if I'm not around, if I can't help. And yeah, it's good. And if you need any information in terms of what it's all about that the ebook doesn't clarify, well, you can do 2 things. You can either follow me 2 or 3 times a day as I'm live streaming, because I refer to it most of the time, or quite a lot of the time, because I rely on it to find out what's going on in the world. Or you can just drop me a message, private message me, or put the message in the window here. I'm always happy to talk about this. I had it coded for me a few years ago now, before I joined Forex Signals. I've used it for a long time. Many other indicators like this, a couple have been posted in the room recently, but that's great. I think they all do the same type of thing, but I know what's behind this one because I had it coded for me myself and tested it. So but yeah, it's just good. It's sort of like tells you what's strong, what's weak, and so forth. I've got 5 minutes. Yeah, I'm coming down for the meeting. Yeah, coming down. We look at some trade ideas as well. I normally review trade ideas as well. I'm going to be a little bit pushed for time now, and he's talking in 2 minutes' time. Oh no, I've got to go. Strict stop needed in long gold. Gold's coming into 55 is the level in gold, 12.55. I'm not sure where it is at the moment. Gold at the moment is trading gold 63. Yeah, so 55 is the level in gold. I'm not sure if gold's got the technical trade for me at the moment. Certainly, as the markets look to take on more risk, gold becomes a sort of like casualty. But if you're buying gold, then it stops below 12.55 as far as I can see. 12.55 is the 200 daily moving average as well, if you're interested on gold. And that's the other thing about showing trade ideas. As I say, I normally cover the trade ideas. So if you want your trade ideas, this stream goes out to, of course, all the people in the room at the time, which is at the moment, we've got about 120, but it also goes out to YouTube. So there's normally quite a lot more watching it on YouTube. So if you want your trade ideas put out there so that the world can see your trade ideas, put them in here, because I like to review them. So it gives you good exposure as well to the world. On your trade ideas, and we get feedback as well on that, so that's good. So just put on trade ideas when you can. And you can click down here and get more trade ideas. And if you want to remind me on the next streams, hit remind me, and we send you an email 15 minutes before the next stream that comes out. These times are relevant to your own particular time zone where you are. So the next stream is me at 7 AM London time, which will be your time on your screens. Right, guys, I'm going to leave it there now. As I say, I've got to run. Have a good session. I'll be interested to see what happens when I get back in about an hour and a half, 2 hours time. Trade safe and don't take on too much risk over this. See you soon.